Welcome to Blockchain Educators presenting Primas at the ChainXChange International Blockchain Conference, Las Vegas, August 2018.
Okay, great. Well, this is Primas. Now, like I said before, I always showcase a company, an interesting company that's out there that's doing really unique, really exciting. Now, 30 billion pieces of Facebook content monthly, that's a lot of news. 50 million tweets per day, and look at this metric. A false story on Twitter reaches 1,500 people 6 times faster on average than a true story. So the inherent nature of the internet and people's fascination with news, it is weighted unfairly towards fake news or false stories or misinformation. And it has a problem. There's a misinformation problem there when people are using misinformation to make their decisions. Vitalik Buterin confirmed dead after a deadly crash. Now, if you looked into this more, okay, the author's credit rating is low, United sources, none, the article you are reading may not be true, okay? The author credit. This author has posted only 3 articles on the internet. The previous article was marked fake news by 2,500 people. Listed resources. The image was firstly found on the internet a year before it was published. So it was obviously a mishmash of faked up information. So what does Primas do? Well, the interesting thing with them, they not only can they put the story on the internet, but what they're doing is they're putting the metadata of the story on the internet. So all of these things, like the author, when it was created, where it was created, how many times the story had changed over the years, where the images came from, all of that is stored in the blockchain and it can't be altered. Now you can vet your stories quickly, instantly. You could have alerts in your web browser, in your Chrome browser, that would let you know, oh hey, heads up, just look out. This may be a really interesting story, but it could be very fake as well. There's nothing like that in place until now. So how do they do this? So we'll just jump into their technology for a minute, and then we'll get right back into what we were talking about previously. You all have the background of what we talked about, how distributed systems work and what dApps are and all of those things. So all of that, what we talked about, we can now tie it together in this example. So they have what's called a DTCP, a decentralized trusted content protocol. They have their own system in place that helps monitor this and save the metadata. What they can do is increase content quality by adding metadata in another dimension, meaning the blockchain. The blockchain ensures the metadata cannot be tampered with and it'll never get lost. So it'll be there for the life of the story on the internet, which is great. It can also always be referenced. It's a new way for content to be linked and shared. And you can see here, you have your data, the article title, article content, article name, and your metadata. None of that is tied currently to stories. Now it can be. If you had to vet that story about Vitalik Buterin, how in the heck, bless you, how in the heck would you do that? You would need a team of fact checkers, and it would take them days. Meanwhile, that story is going around the planet 2 or 3 times already, and now it's on primetime news. So currently you have your URL, your contents, your hyperlinks, and your URLs. That is the current structure of the internet, and there's no way to verify your content. There's no way to store the metadata. With DTCP, it's tamper-proof metadata for every DNA. And you're probably wondering, well, what do they mean by DNA? Well, every story that they put on their platform, they hash it, and then they create a very simple, easy-to-use ID for that story. So every story has an ID. It can be tracked now. And now all of this metadata is on the blockchain, and it's connected to the hash, the ID of the story. And you can track these stories for their life on the internet. You can find their origin, when they were made, how they were made. Was it altered or changed or edited, and when it was? source link, citation link, similar opinion link. Link can be created by the community as well. You can see all the DNA tags connected to it. And then also tied to this, somewhat related, we also have what's called the traffic economy. And I kind of alluded to this previously, how at the moment, like if you put a story or any information on the internet, or if you're a journalist or an author or an artist, how do you get paid? Advertising. It's not about whether or not the story is real or true or not. It's about advertising. What do advertisers want? They want traffic. They want clicks. So again, the system, the infrastructure is weighted in favor of stories that may not be true. Because if it's sensational, it gets more clicks, all the ads connected to it now are getting more traffic. And you mentioned, well, why doesn't Twitter or Facebook or any of them vet their stories? Well, you know, they're turning a blind eye because these fake stories are making them tons of money. We all know the controversy that Facebook is going through right now. Who's the CEO of Facebook? Zuckerberg, right? Wasn't he called into Congress to testify about all the things that are going on, and Cambridge Analytica and all these things that are happening, and it's still an issue. If he had technology like this, if it was already used, he would not have these public image issues with Facebook anymore. They would be held to a much higher standard. Now that the genie's out of the bottle, it's hard to fix that. So, the point being here, the traffic economy, it drives the internet, it drives the revenue that people are making on the internet. And now, unfortunately, poor content quality, websites, and the originators of poor content are getting wealthy. Meanwhile, original authors, people putting out content that is maybe more true or of quality, they aren't getting paid. They're being pushed to the wayside. So, what does Primas have to do with that? They have their own coin. So, when you check out the card that we gave you, there's a QR code. You can either download their app or you can find them on Twitter. They're based in Shanghai, and they're making more and more inroads here in the United States, trying to gain popularity for their app. And when you have the app, you can use it to post data, to post stories, post content. You'll have the PST, which is their cryptocurrency. So they're tokenizing content. Remember we all talked about Steemit before? So they also have features like Steemit, where your content, the more likes it gets, the more money you make. It's a great revenue generator for authors, for people who are creators of original content. They have a marketplace now where they can put their stories and they can be paid accordingly. Also with this, you can create your own groups. Remember we talked about governance with these blockchains? You can actually make your own group and you can set up your own governance with their app. And you can build your own community who may be interested in your topic.
If you'd like to learn more about Primas and how they're restoring health to the internet, you can download their app, scan the QR code and join the conversation on Telegram. Find them online at primas.io. And don't forget to follow them on Twitter at PrimasOfficial.